Hi, I'm Brett from Qpid.Asia. So I'm here to help out on dating tips for Indonesian women as it comes from a man's point of view. So I hope you'll find this interesting, and I hope it will really encourage you to go and look at your profile and change it and get some results. So you only get one chance at a first impression, and your only chance of a first impression is the photograph you have on your profile. So unless it says to a man that I'm so gorgeous you can't afford not to look further, they're just going to look further, like look away, swipe left, whatever you like. So a man falls in love with his eyes. If he loves what he sees, he'll look further. So don't just put up any photograph and think you can sell a man on what wonderful personality you've got, and you don't need flashy photos, you don't need makeup, you don't need anything special. You're exactly wrong. You need the best photos you can find to get the best man of your dreams. And you need a good written profile. You need to think about it, need to think it through, because what's happening here is you're launching the most important product ever to hit the market in the 22nd century. No, we're in the 21st century. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But that's you. You're the most important product, especially to you. Unless you can sell that product, what's the best point about you? Why are you so terrific? You have to go and look inside and you have to know. I know why I'm terrific, but I had to think about it for a while because I didn't hold myself in such high esteem as what I do now. But now I realise I'm a hot product. And you better realise you're a hot product, or you're not going to find the man of your dreams. So I'm going to show you how to achieve the profile that is going to attract men. I'm going to show you the competition you have in the marketplace and why doing a better profile is going to make you stand out in the crowd, because I'll show you what the crowd is like, and it's not impressive. So it deserves you taking some time to look better than the rest. I'll explain what men think. I gave you a little hint right there that men are just falling in love with their eyes. Women don't fall in love with their eyes. Men do. And you'll learn how to put together a better profile and either get some help or ask friends or pay some money. Do whatever you've got to do. But if it's important for you to get a husband, it's important to put together a good profile, or just get off social media and dating apps altogether and go and find a man within your local area. Because unless you do this right, you're wasting your time. So let's not waste your time, because it is very simple, but it takes some preparation. And I'll explain to you what Westerners are looking for. Now, all too often, I hear from Indonesian women they would love a Westerner, but that's as far as their thought process has gone. What if a Westerner says, yes, where are you going to live? What about the kids? Have you got kids? How old are the kids? Are you expecting him to look after them? Or are you going to pretend they're not there? Are you allowed move? Would you be allowed move overseas, take your kids and leave your ex? Is your ex, are you a widow? There's a lot of questions that you have to get right in your head so that you know what your parameters are to find a Westerner. You just don't want to say, yeah, I want a Westerner, end of subject. You need to do some research and some thought, some deep thinking on what your expectations are, because when you finish this webinar, you will know how to find a Westerner, and you will. So be prepared. Now, what I'm going to do first up is I'm going to take you to something I prepared earlier. I'm going to show you some photos of my girlfriend Martini. So just let me explain how I got here, because that's important. I've been coming to Indonesia for over 20 years, doing business, living in Australia and America, exporting things from Indonesia, manufacturing in Bali and Java. And I've just loved Indonesia. Anyhow, my wife at the time decided she didn't love me anymore. And she decided that she would try another man or another few men. But basically, she wasn't faithful. And so I was in love, she wasn't. So it had to end. Now, that left me thinking, well, I'm not good by myself. I need a partner. I need someone to cuddle up to at night. And I found that in Martini. And I'm the happiest man I've ever been. And I thought, this is selfish if I don't help out other Indonesians, Indonesian women in particular, to find the man that they love, that they deserve. Because I've changed Martini's life, but more importantly, she's changed my life. And I want you to have that same opportunity. So when I looked, there is really no dating apps that are made in Indonesia for Indonesians. And I didn't know why. So that's why I've done this. Because an American or a Russian company isn't going to know what is good for an Indonesian. The rules that we have in America are different to Indonesia. There's different requirements. There's different processes. It's a different dating game. But I can bring all this together and help you out with Qpid.asia. Now, some of the things I had to address was how to make payments or send money, and we've got all that covered. We're working with Indomart, Circle K, all those kind of companies, so we can do money transactions like you're normally used to. So if someone sends you money, you're going to get it, and that's what we're encouraging too. We want you to have actual dates. When we say actual dates, the actual dates have changed a little since COVID, because now video is considered normal. Like all my meetings basically are via video. I even meet with, I was in Bali for some time, and even though I was in Bali, I still met with my Bali advertising company via video. I could have been in London, but that's the way it goes. So dating's gone the same way. We've built this app to allow for that, so that you can go on a real date, even though your special someone could be in New York, Sydney, who knows? Anyhow, that's the background. So I threw together, and I must say I threw together, because it's very similar to what you will have done on your dating app. So I pulled out some photos of Martini, not necessarily to show you what you should be doing, but to show you what you shouldn't be doing. Now, let me share my screen. So here's Martini. Now, this first photo, this is what I would use for her profile. So it's a pretty good photo. I love her makeup. It is just fantastic. This is why I fell in love with her, because who would not fall in love with that face? She is just gorgeous. So me being a man and being very visual, first time I saw her, I just fell in love. So a man falls in love that quick. What they do over the coming weeks is they're looking for reasons to fall out of love. So you've already got them, you just got to keep them. Now, this photo here was at the salon where she had her makeup and hair done. So in the background was Coco with his pink T-shirt on and a whole lot of salon kind of things in the background. Didn't look good. So we just cut out the background. Now that's a great photo for a profile. And this is a photo we took in Denpasar at a restaurant. So the problem is here, the background is too dark, so I can't see the shape of her hair or head, or, it just disappears into this background. But the biggest problem is the makeup. There is an inconsistency there. So it's still a beautiful photograph, but if she has this photograph, she can't have this one, because what happens is you are judged by your worst photograph. So you may have the best, and I've done this myself, and I can remember thinking, oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, yes, she's still gorgeous. Oh, wow, she's athletic. Oh, look, that's fantastic. And the last photo is, oh, yeah, don't know so much, because it wasn't a good photograph. So let me tell you what you should do with this. When you look at her other photographs, you see her face is all very similar in those other ones. This one is completely out of character. So because she'll be judged by her worst photograph, this will be her worst photograph. So get rid of it. It can only do you harm by having this photograph. Now, moving down here, another beautiful photograph. The trouble is she's taken it in the bathroom. So we've got toilet rolls and a sink. Like, uncool. I know there's so many photographs on dating sites of people in bathrooms. You don't want a photograph in your bathroom. Now, this is my pet hate. I really dislike people that take photographs with sunglasses on, and they don't even know they're doing it because they wear them so often. So, well, what's the problem? Well, here's the problem. She's not selling sunglasses for Christian Dior. She's selling her face, but she's covered it with sunglasses. And then to top it off, you can see down around her chin, she's just taken her face mask and pulled it under her chin. If you're going to take a photograph, take your face mask off. I can't believe how many people keep their face mask on. And this is too uncool for words. Do not take a selfie lying in bed. If I could just take her face out of that, what a beautiful face. Everything else just screams uncool. Don't do it. Now, this photograph here, this was, we were staying at a hotel. That's a hotel scene, so that's, the background's pretty good. Every woman in the world should have a little black dress. I can't remember who it was that said that. It might have been Christian Dior, or I forget. One of the famous designers said every woman should have a little black dress, and this is the number. See how it hugs her skin, shows her the shape of her body, and a man sees that, whoa. And I'm seeing that most women from Indonesia have got a shapely body like this. So get yourself a little black dress, and you need a full body shot like this. And this is the secret. Must have high heels or shoes with some heel. You don't want a little black dress and then to be wearing flip-flops. That just screams uncool. So if you want to look good, little black dress, high heel shoes. She's got a nice black bag over her shoulder. So if we'd have thought she was going to use this for a dating app, we would have done this a little differently. Like there's a better way to stand when you're taking a photograph, but this actually is quite good. A little side on is good. You see how we get more of the curves, and so she's accidentally done it well. Problem is the guy that took the photograph, me, didn't take it carefully enough, and now this is blurry. So don't use a blurry photograph. You can't use this. You have to go and take it again. But the content is brilliant. Just, I should have focused the camera. Now, and you see she's wearing some earrings. That's always a nice touch. So wear some jewelry. Show your potential boyfriend you know how to dress. Show them that you know about jewelry, and because you're going to be expecting some presents, like some jewelry, which, by the way, is also going to be in the online shop in our Qpid.asia store. Now, last one, another beautiful photograph of my darling girlfriend. However, look at the background. How disgusting is that? And now that I've pointed this out, you'll go and look at your photographs and photographs of other people on dating sites and go, oh, what were they thinking? But you don't notice when you're taking the photograph. So this is another one that we should have cropped out the background on. So that would be a good photograph to delete the background. Now, to delete the background, you can get onto Fiverr.com. They do it quite cheaply, unless you've got a son or a daughter who's techno savvy, or you know how to use Photoshop. And if all else fails, you can talk to us, because if you're a gold member, we will look at your range of photographs, help you with editing, do things like that, delete the background, look at what you've written and how you've written it, and suggest some changes. And that is a necessity too, because when you write it in Bahasa, like I've done written this in English and then done a translation into Bahasa. If I translate this back to English, it'll come out as something different than what I started off with. So you have to be careful translating from Bahasa to English, because it's a lot easier to transfer the other way than Bahasa to English, because it'll sneak in some words that just make no sense. Because I've read profiles and you just get stuck on words and you go, what is she talking about? And you just give up. So don't let that happen. We will make sure that it looks right in English and reads correctly. Now let me take you to this little gem. Now what we've got here, this is telling you about your profile picture. Pay attention. This is the most important thing you will learn in this webinar. Your photograph needs to be like this, where you are the center of attention. You see her background is all blurred. So either do what we did with Martini, delete the background, or do what this girl has done, blur the background. Now, this probably isn't appropriate for us in Indonesia because doesn't get cold enough to dress like this. So avoid wearing hats, glasses, habayas, definitely not masks, anything else that's going to take away from your beautiful face and your hair. So this, even though this is not something I'd recommend, it works well because it shows she's got beautiful fingers, beautifully manicured nails, great smiler. It shows to a man, he sees all of this. One of the first things he's seeing is manicured nails, going, oh, that's pretty impressive. She looks after herself. And the smile is just killer. And you'll see later on where in this presentation where they recommend, and I say they as being the experts who have studied tens of thousands of images on dating sites and come up with what the best thing to do is. So this is it. Now, I put this in for men, so it doesn't really apply to you, but it's worthwhile knowing. Men do something similar to women. They just have a sudden urge to, damn it, I'm getting on a dating site. Okay, I've filled all that in, now what? I've got to find some photos. So they flick through their photos and they pull out something like this old 67 Mustang photo and go, yeah, that's me, that describes me, that photo. Whereas they should be spending some time and using this photo. They've forgotten what we said earlier is this is a launch of a very important product. This is an important product. You're an important product. We're going to make sure the men present themselves so you know what you're getting, and you're not seeing a photograph like this hoping that he's going to be okay because he doesn't look very good. He looks a bit beat up. And on our dating app, no man is allowed to use a fish. I'm going to ban fish. There is nothing worse than a man standing there with a fish or taking a topless photo in a bathroom. So don't worry, you don't have to put up with that anymore, I hope. Now, this will help women like yourselves in particular understand what I'm talking about. This is Lucy Liu, probably the sexiest Asian ever on the planet. She is certainly the most beautiful woman that I've seen. So, but look at the two photographs. You know, this is casual Lucy on the left. She's been snapped out in the street, glasses on, hair back. She wouldn't turn too many heads. You know, she's pretty, but not stunning. Look at the photo on the right. Stunning. Now, this is exactly you girls. I've looked at many girls on dating apps in my study for my own dating app, and so many women look like Lucy Liu on the left. There's no reason why they can't look like Lucy Liu on the right. And what a great profile picture. How many men are going to click on this? Every one of them. Every one of them except the ones that think, oh no, she's too sexy for me. I'm telling you, this is the secret. If this is you on the left, we need to make this you on the right. Now, if that requires going and getting a professional makeup artist and a photographer, spend the money. If you haven't got the money, find a friend that can help you. Find a friend that knows makeup. Don't do it yourself. Get your friend to make up your face. They do a better job. Get someone to take the photograph. Look at the background. You know, it's clearly a professional photograph. So make an effort to look like Lucy Liu on the right. Every man is going to fall in love with you with this photograph. Absolutely. So let's have a look at this. This explains quite a few things. You need to have a photograph of you involved in sport. So whether it's trekking or walking, jogging, swimming, playing tennis, playing golf, doing a team sport, whatever it is, your increased, in fact, this is only an average. This is 75% increase. But here, this is what it is in reality. If women have sports photos, 166% more likely to get a like by having a sports photo. Men, it's only 40-something%. So women, you must have this. And if you're a woman that just absolutely does nothing, doesn't even walk or run or, well, I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe you better start taking up a sport because you need this photo. So what else have we got? I'm just training here to see this. Oh, night out. I don't know that that's so important in Asia because it's hard, it's often hard to get a night out. You don't. I think it needs to be a night out with a couple of girlfriends, a meal. It doesn't. You don't want to show that you're out drinking and partying hard because promoting alcohol isn't the right thing to do, and you might find the wrong man by looking like you're a party girl. But do some out to lunch with the girls would be a good photograph. So, and then showing your smile. This is so important. And the majority of women on dating apps do this for a smile. And I kind of smiling, I say, yeah, like you can tell it's not a smile. It has to be a smile like the love of your life just got home from a week away on a business trip and you're really happy to see him. Like it has to be, wow, I can't believe you're home kind of smile. I've missed you so much kind of smile. Not a, hello, darling, glad you're home. That smile doesn't cut it. And people can see. Ask, and if you can't see yourself, ask your friends, does this look like I'm smiling? You've got to do some research. So now this is one of my pet hates, as I mentioned, with Martini. Wearing sunglasses, hats, and habayas. Well, masks. I think habaya is even worse. Habaya is like about a 500% turn off. So if you're looking for a Western man, presumably he's not going to be Muslim. So therefore he doesn't want to see habaya. He's running the other way because he's just thinking, nah, he doesn't know Muslims like I know Muslims. You've got to get to know a Muslim before you can appreciate that they're just as beautiful as everyone else, because in their mind, they don't even know Muslims, so they don't know what to expect. So don't show that you're a Muslim. Bring that up later. Nothing wrong. You don't have to change your religion. You just have to show that you're normal like everyone else. So, and if you want a Muslim man, let it be known. And we'll find you someone from North Africa, from the Middle East, from Pakistan, some good-looking men in Pakistan and Tunisia. In fact, my trainer, I have another business called Q Gyms. So let me give that a plug. If you want to lose some weight, if you're overweight and you want to get into shape, that's what Q Gyms does. So we do online training. So with a Zoom call, and we train you a couple of times, 3 times a week, and help you lose weight and get into shape. Now, one of my coaches is from Tunisia, and it's a bit hard to tell because I'm a man, but God, he looks like a good-looking rooster to me. So those Tunisian men, wow, So what I'm saying is define who you want. If you want a Westerner, don't dress like a Muslim. If you want a Muslim, let us know and we'll find you one. But don't pretend to be one or the other. So what you don't want is also here to be using filters. I just can't believe the number of women that have a stupid nose on and the stars in their ears, and and obviously they're disguising something. And if they're not, we don't know. It looks like they're disguising something, so you should change it. So don't do Snapchat filters, and don't be with your SO, that significant other. So in a photograph, or don't have a photograph and then chop them out. You can tell when you've been photographed alongside someone and you've cropped them out. Go and get a new photograph. So now we've talked about the sport, very important. So figure out what you're going to do there. Do you have to take up a sport? Or you might be a bit sporty, you might just be a walker, but just show that you're doing something. This is interesting. Black and white. You don't want to use it as your main photograph, but use a black and white image and you're 106% more likely to get a like. But please don't use it with sunglasses, right? My daughter is a model, and she has probably 10% or a bit, probably less, just a few black and white photos of headshots in black and white, and they're very impressive. So it's a model's portfolio will always have a few black and white shots. So you should have one as well. Nice black and white shot is going to look fantastic. A candid shot. This is someone just smiling without being rehearsed. So best way to do that is to get in a photograph and then think of something ridiculous or think of something funny, because it has to be a spontaneous kind of laugh. Now, this is the do not do under any circumstances. Stop it with the selfies. The younger generation are getting quite good at selfies, or if you've got a selfie stick, you have a chance. But I mean, just stop it with the selfies. Your body changes shape with a selfie. Like now you've got your arms up, changes, like now you've got a big forehead, and your face goes out of shape with a selfie. Take it from me, you don't need a selfie. So, and don't take any more photographs in the bathroom. Like reflections in the mirror is just not on. Now, this is the most important photograph. So we're back to this. We started with this one. Looks sensational. This is the reasoning behind it. So wear your hair up. That, I think that's up to you, whether you think you look better with your hair up or not, because that increases only 27% your likelihood of getting a like. So I think it's just because it exposes this part of your face, so you see more of your face. But, you know, if I was Lucy Liu, I'd be sticking with this. Does she? I don't think she needs her hair up, do you? Like, that's sensational. But she's looking away from the camera, as they're saying here. So looking away from the camera, 74% more likely to get a like. With a smile, 76% more likely. So add those together. So generally, Lucy would have been asked to pose like that, because professional photography often is required not to smile. But what we want you to do is to smile warmly, because that makes you human. We can see your teeth. It doesn't have to be a loud smile, but just like this. And make sure you're alone. And make sure you either chop out your background, or you've got a plain background, or you do this. You blur your background. So there's my red hot tips for putting together your profile. We're going to talk more in a moment about your written profile. So we'll just pause here for a moment. I just want to move away from the sun, because it's about to come into my little studio out the back of the house here. Plus I'll give the Imam a little time for him to get through his afternoon prayer, and we'll come back and talk again in a moment. Here we are back again after a short intermission to allow for afternoon prayer. So the next thing I want to share with you is what's your competition? So you've got to be doing something better than what the other women are doing on your dating app if you're going to get dates. So let me share the screen. I've just picked a page out of a random app so I can point out what the problems are, and hopefully you'll understand. So, well, these two here are no competition. I don't know who's clicking on that. You'd have to be suspect. If you put up no photo, you'd have to be wondering who the hell is going to. They'd have to be drawn to your name. No other question. Now, unfortunately, this lady here, she is beautiful, but she's not even wearing her abaya well. So if she wants a Muslim man, you got to lift your game with your abaya. And if she wants a Western man, as I said before, get rid of the abaya. So here we got another blank screen. And at least we've got her face on this, but really, again, ask yourself the question, am I looking for a Western man or a Muslim man? And this is the one I told you about with Martini, no shots in bed. There's no smile, all we've got's the pillow, and that's a desperate looking shot. This woman here, what a beautiful smile. I like her. Now, if she knew what we knew about your cover photo, she would know to have that smile, but side onto the camera. And we would have blurred the background, and she would have been a contender. So far, we've had 7 photos, no contender for your new look on your app. And here we got another 2 no-shows. This woman is just beautiful. But again, what's she here for? She's kind of, I don't know, you've got to ask yourself the question. And this woman here, how beautiful is she? Now, she's probably got the right size image, but because this particular app has cropped her photo, now her image is too big for the app. So I think she would be one of the most stunning women you would see if she adopted our little hints from earlier about the background and looking away from the camera, etc. So still, no, this lady here she's competition. Even though it's not a great photo, she's competition. Right, what do we got? We've got, I'm so bored. I'm so bored and I wish I didn't take this photo. I couldn't run away from the camera any further. Plus, I'm going to wear some glasses. So even if I were was to come in and rob you at gunpoint, you couldn't identify me. Like, what are these girls thinking? Like, these two look like they're having a horrible time. And this is everything that you can do wrong. This is what I said earlier. No hat, no glasses, no mask. She's got all three. She is in fact, I think I would click on the blank screen girl before I would click on this. Like, if she's getting any dates, they're desperados. And my apologies if you know any of these women, or if you're actually on the call. I'll apologise to you personally, but take it from me, I can change your whole life. Now, we've got a sideways shot, and we've got this girl isn't doing herself any favours. No makeup. It just hasn't. If she had some help, she could have a beautiful profile, but she just forgot to make herself up. Like, she's not the most beautiful girl here, but she can do way, way better than that. Like, there is guaranteed a man who would love this woman. She's beautiful in her own right, but she's not doing herself any favours. And, oh, wow, I've got to get one of these for my garden. What do you think? I wonder if these change colour. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great sales. Oh, there's a woman in there. I don't know what she's doing. I think they're selling this light. So we've got a no starter. Then we've got 3 drop-dead gorgeous women, all doing it wrong. So this woman here is absolutely stunning. And these two are just beautiful, beautiful. What are you doing in that T-shirt? What's going on in the background? When we got a plastic container and a bed, and this one we're sitting in the car. Don't know what we're doing here, but they're beautiful women trying to look bad, and then they're doing a great job of it. So here we go, Masked Avenger again. Oh, a full habaya and a hat to go with it. Going on a killing spree. Like, I don't know what she's doing and why she's doing it. I like the hat though, nice hat. And this lady here, when she sees our hints on a photograph, she will get it. She's got beautiful lips, beautiful skin. She's got a beautiful face, a nice clear background. She hasn't confused everything by wearing multicolored stuff. All she needs to learn now is how to smile and how to hold a face, and she will be stunning. And the same could be said for this woman. She's beautiful. And she's done her makeup. She's got everything going on in the background that shouldn't be. It looks like the office, it's either her home office or the office she's working in has gone broke, or they're very untidy. But you don't want this shot. Get rid of it. And what the hell is going on here? Like, it's not a marketing campaign for a bottle of ketchup. I don't even want to comment. So we've got more glasses going on. We've got this stunned kind of look and hasn't done a makeup or a hair. And we've got, this is as close as you're going to get to a mug shot in a police lineup. Like, I don't care if you need to wear a abaya or not. This is not the look. and look at the background. So, and here we've finally got a happy person. Look, she's happy, but she hasn't got the right outfit on. She's wearing glasses, her hair is up, and this is exposed too much of a forehead. She needs to wear her hair down, and she looks like she'd be one super girl. She's going to just draw the men in with that smile. And this woman's beautiful, but again, just needs a few hints. Hair's not right. Get rid of the background. This, I don't know what's going on with this top. It's like, and see, Western men won't relate to that. We've got something long sleeves on. I thought it was hot in Indonesia. This woman is just beautiful. I don't know, it looks like she's gone to her son's kindergarten and taken a photograph. You know, isn't it interesting how much you look at in the background? I can't help but thinking, well, she's a single mum, but isn't she beautiful? Why didn't she just paint the perfect picture? And here we go, another happy girl. Just love her. But like, this is too complicated. Your eyes are drawn to her outfit instead of her face, and we're in a bar somewhere. Like, and it's a fuzzy kind of photograph. And we've got something going on here. I don't know what this is. But I think anyone on this call can outrank anyone on this page. I don't know how many we looked at. There's got to be about 20-something people there. So you're going to be better prepared than 20 other people minimum. So let's stop the share. Right. Was that a surprise? You know, your competition isn't that great. So we haven't got to improve too much before you're going to get the attentions of a lot of men. So I think you'll agree with me when you say, you may not be as pretty as some of those women, but surely once you do some great looking images, you will get more attention than all of those women. So the next thing we want to touch on is take it. Oh, I just want to go back and see if we can. I forgot something about taking photos that maybe we can pick up from here. You see, what's happening here is this girl is actually squinting just a bit. Now, what professionals do when they're taking photos is they're doing exactly this. They're getting you to look away from the camera, get that sexy smile going, and a slight squint. See, you can definitely pick it up here. See, Lucy's got a squint going on, and so you don't want your eyes wide open, like you've got to get that squint going and get the. You've probably got to practice this in the mirror. So Google it. You'll see I'm right, that this is what professionals do, is they want you to squint ever so slightly. But I haven't got the reason why. I just know that's the case. All right. Now, we're going to have a short break. Or you're not going to see a break. I'm just going to put it on pause and come back with a new background. And we're going to talk about what men's expectations are and what you have to pay attention to. Oh, before I go, I know what there is something else I want to talk about, and that is your written profile. So what will happen is when someone like me has looked at your first photo and gone, wow, she's really nice. And then we've gone in and looked at the other 5 photos and gone, wow, because you deleted the 6th one because it wasn't very good, you remember. I've looked at the next 5 and gone, isn't she sensational? Now I'll read her bio. So probably the first thing I've looked at is her, you already know your age. Has she got kids? So go straight to the kids. Yep, 2 kids, 18 and 18 or 17 and 19 or whatever it is. So now in my mind, I've got to think, am I supporting these kids? Am I putting them through uni? Am I happy to take on kids? And I can only say from my experience, because Martini's got kids 18, 20, 22. I've got kids 22, 25 and 27. So we've kind of got kids in the same age bracket. So that works pretty good. I can go along with that. So don't tell lies about the kids you've got, because now what's your expectations? Like Martini said to me early in our communications that I want to come and live in Melbourne. And I thought, that's good. I can work with that. And I said, well, what about the kids? She said, oh, that's all right. One's finished uni and going to work. The other one's going to uni. And then the other one, where she wants to stay with her grandmother. And I just accepted that. But when I got to Indonesia, I found out that wasn't the case. The girls didn't want mum to go. Mum just wanted to be able to go and live to get a Westerner. And she just thought the Westerner won't want to leave home, so I'll say I'll go to Melbourne. She didn't want to go to Melbourne. She didn't want to leave her kids, but she said it anyway. But when I got here, I realised, well, I can't make her move to Australia and leave her kids who still need her. So I've decided to move to Indonesia. It was an easy decision. I realised that I actually wanted to live in Indonesia. So don't assume that, or don't give answers that you think that your partner wants to hear. Give them honest answers. Better to give an honest answer and move on to the next man than to give a false answer and find out 6 months later he's going, well, I'm not moving to Indonesia and I'm not bringing your spare daughter to Australia. You know, you said it was just you. Now it's you and one other. And it's a big undertaking. If I was to move to get a visa for Martini and Regina to move to Australia, that would cost me in the order of 200 million at least. So that's pretty scary. So before you start saying, yeah, we want to move to your country, think about the cost. Like, just because they're white doesn't mean they're loaded. You know, they might be better off than you are, but doesn't mean they've got unlimited amounts of money. So the other thing you want to look at is get clear in your mind, do you want more kids? Because I'm using Martini again because it's easier to relate to a story. At 42, Martini said, yeah, I want kids. I want a kid, because she wanted a mixed race kid with a white guy. Beautiful baby. She was just thought that would be fantastic. And all the girls said, oh yeah, we want a mixed race brother or sister. That'd be fantastic. And I'm kind of going, are you sure? And I thought I'll let that go for a little while. So a few months later, she realised that, you know, she's going to have to stay home, especially if she went to Australia, because you're not getting nannies in Australia You know, a nanny over there is probably paid 20 million a month. So we don't have nannies. So that would mean living in Indonesia, because we couldn't afford to have a baby with a nanny in Australia. And then she realised, well, if I do that, I can't travel the world with me. So I'm a digital nomad. So wherever I am, that's my office. So if I want to go and see my son in Japan, I'll go and spend a month in Japan, but she's not coming because she's got to look after the baby. And then all of a sudden she realised, yeah, I don't think I want any more babies. Well, she didn't think it through clearly in the first place. So I urge you to think it through. Like, these are going to be questions you're going to be asked. And you're often asked in your profile. So before you answer it, or just leave it blank or something. So if you're not sure, I'd rather you leave it blank and figure it out later than put in, yes, I want babies, and that turns the guy off and you would have changed your mind anyhow. So the other thing is, we will help you write your profile. So if you've written it in Bahasa and then used a translator to turn it into English, that's a little bit suspect, because going that way around, like English into Bahasa is not too bad. Going Bahasa to English, you lose a lot in the translation. So you've only got to put in a few of the wrong words, and I can't understand what you're saying. So we'll review that for you so you don't get, the wrong message going on in your profile. And look at all the questions. You're better off leaving your questions unanswered than doing the wrong answer. And if you thought you wanted more kids, can you hear that? That's about 2 blocks away. So it sounds like someone's strangling the poor kid. So think about that. Do you want that going on in your life? And for me, I do, but I want them to be grandkids. So when they start carrying on like that, I can say, it's time you went home to your mum. So, and this is a difficult question for a lot of you women in your 40s. Like, and don't just assume the man wants a second family, and so I'm young enough to have one, so I will. Because it has to be right for you, not for him. So don't do something wrong for you that you think's right for him. Do whatever's right for you and find the man to suit you. That's the easiest thing. Be honest, and you'll find the right man. You just got to make sure that you're clear in what you want. Understand what you want. This is why it's great to take a bit of time. So you're going to take time to get the right pictures. In fact, take a screenshot of the questions on your bio or your profile and just think about them. Of course, one wrong question will miss out. You might miss the man of your dreams. Anyhow, that was a little brief interlude. I'm going to take a break and come back to you in a moment and tell you about what men think. And it's not much. They're not the smartest or they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. Here we are back again to talk about what men think. And women get a little confused because they overthink it. Men don't think much at all. In fact, they do a lot of crazy stuff because they don't think. And what's on a man's mind? One thing, sex. Sorry about that. It's not complicated. They don't plan things. There's no hidden agenda. It's about sex. And it's about self-gratification. And You know, the thing really is that men want to please a woman. Now, if they don't want to please a woman, probably means they're a narcissist and get the hell away from them. But there are as many women that are like that as men. So ask the right questions. It's up to you to get to the bottom of what's going on with a man, because they fall in love in the first few seconds when they've seen your photograph, and then seen another 5 photographs and go, she's red hot, I'm in love. I did the same thing. So you're in love, and now you're trying to find a reason not to be in love. So that's what I spent the next 6 months doing, trying to find out every reason why I shouldn't. And I couldn't. So here I am. And it's not that complicated. So don't make it complicated. Just realise that you will arrive at conclusions way earlier than men will. Men fall in love and then they need some convincing. And there's a lot of, I'd suggest you need to be messaging a man for at least 6 months. And in my case, it was 12 months. I had no choice though. It's a bit longer because there was COVID. But when we got together, we had a great understanding, because you actually learn more about someone by messaging than by talking. Because if you're dating in person, you see someone a couple of times a week, and there's only so many things you can chat about over dinner. Whereas when you're chatting online, it's, in my case, it was 20, 30, 40 messages a day, every day. So you get to know the person quite well. And statistically, marriages last longer from online than being introduced in the old-fashioned one. And I think it's because of this, because you're required to message so much and find out so much more about the person you're dating. So don't try and overcomplicate it with men, because they just want to know that they've got a sexy, faithful, funny woman. That's about it. And if you happen to have a job and you're athletic and you've got some kids, or you want some kids, that's all good too. So there's going to be someone for everyone. We just got to make your package look like the most inviting package in the store. And as you saw from earlier, when we looked at your competition, there is no competition. Your only competition is between your ears. So we've got to make you look good, get your bio right. You just start messaging. Now, this is the good news. You can take all this away and use it on your own app that you're using now, but I'd recommend you join up with us, use us as well. Don't leave the other one, use both, and you'll figure out which one is best for you, then leave one or the other. But what I'm doing for you, because you've turned up here, is you're going to get 3 months of gold membership with Qpid.asia just for turning up to this webinar. So that's enough from me. Thank you for your time. Look for the link as soon as this webinar is finished, and sign up for Qpid.asia to get your 3 months gold membership.